And he admitted that, in fact, he was aware of the preservation order, and he was aware of the fact that that meant that he shouldn't disturb the Clinton emails, correct?
Yep.
Okay, well then I need your help again here, because when I was at the Department of Justice, your reward for lying to federal agents was an 18 U.S.C. 1001 charge or potential obstruction of justice charge. It wasn't immunity.
Well, Mr. Chairman, if you're assuring subjects or targets or what witnesses, whatever you want to call them, that they've done nothing wrong, it does beg the question, what are you seeking and receiving immunity from?
But he lied to an FBI agent. You don't think that's important?
Oh, it's very important. Happens all the time. Unfortunately, it's very, very important. Sometimes you prosecute that person and their cooperation. Sometimes you try and sign them up.
But if they lie to an FBI agent after they're given immunity, they violated the terms of their immunity agreement.
Oh, sure, after the agreement.
And so that's my point. He shouldn't have immunity anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry, I may have misunderstood you.
And I think you would agree with this, Director. False exculpatory statements are gold in a courtroom. I would rather have a false exculpatory statement than a confession. I would rather have someone lie about something and it be provable that that is a lie, such as that I neither sent nor received classified information, such as that I turned over all of my work-related emails. All of that, to me, goes to the issue of intent. So I got two more questions, then I'm going to be out of time. For those who may have to prosecute these cases in the future, what would she have had to do to warrant your recommendation for prosecution? If all of that was not enough, because all of that's what she did, if all of that's not enough, I mean, surely you cannot be arguing that you have to have an intent to harm the United States to be subject to this prosecution. I mean, that's treason. That's not a violation of this statute.
At this point, based on everything, do you think that any laws were broken by Hillary Clinton or her lawyers?
Do I think that any laws were broken? Yeah. Well, no, there is evidence of mishandling here. This whole investigation at the end focused on, is there sufficient evidence of intent?
You've got a pen here. I just want to make sure the record's clear about the evidence that you didn't have, that you can't use to prove. So this comes from the FBI's own report. It says that the FBI didn't have the Clintons' personal Apple server used for Hillary Clinton work emails. That was never located, so the FBI could never examine it. An Apple MacBook laptop and thumb drive that contained Hillary Clinton's email archives was lost, so the FBI never examined them. 2 BlackBerry devices, provided the FBI didn't have SIM cards or SD data cards. 13 Hillary Clinton personal mobile devices were lost, discarded, or destroyed with a hammer, so the FBI clearly didn't examine those. Various server backups were deleted over time, so the FBI didn't examine that. After the State Department and my colleague Mr. Gowdy here notified Ms. Clinton that her records would be sought by the Benghazi Committee, copies of her emails on the laptops of both of her lawyers, Cheryl Mills and Harold Mills, and Heather Samuelson, were wiped clean with bleach bits, so the FBI didn't review that. After those emails were subpoenaed, Hillary Clinton's email archive was also permanently deleted from the Platte River Network with bleach bit, so the FBI didn't review that. And also after the subpoena, backups of the Platte River server were manually deleted. Now, Director, hopefully that list is substantially accurate because it comes from your own documents. My question to you is this. Any one of those in that very, very long list, to me, says obstruction of justice.
And I'm going to say this, and then we'll finish. I'm going to say this to those who benefit from the President's policies. You may be willing to allow the end to justify the means in this case. You may well like the fact that the President has abused prosecutorial discretion and conferred benefits in an unprecedented way. You may benefit from the President's failure to enforce the law today, but I'll make you this promise. There will come a day where you will cry out for the enforcement of the law. There will come a day where you long for the law to be the foundation of this republic. So you be careful what you do with the law today, because if you weaken it today, you weaken it forever.
These federal records were under subpoena. They were under a preservation order. Did Mr. Combetta destroy documents?
I have no reason to believe he destroyed federal records.
He used bleach bit, did he not? And he did indeed use bleach bit on these records.
Sure. That's why the guy wouldn't talk to us without immunity.
And so when you got immunity, what did you learn?
We learned that no one had directed him to do that he had done it.
You really think that he just did this by himself?
I think his account, again, I never affirmatively believe anybody except my wife But